like no other.
I love the Avon because it's always different. The water level's changing. There might be fog, there might not be fog, and yeah, once the start gun goes, there's you know, it's all on, and it's great fun.
Over 4 decades, the Avon Descent's been a yearly pilgrimage for powerboat racers and paddlers. It's a river dance where the steps change constantly at the mercy of Western Australia's fickle rainfall. Just 3 weeks ago, the race looked doomed, but just in time, the heavens opened. And today, the Avon River awaits, like a present to be unwrapped.
Got colour in your cheeks. Do you ever get that feel that you can't shift, the tide that sticks around like summits in your teeth?
The Avon Descent starts in the small town of Northam, 100 kilometres from Perth. It's a bone-jolting adventure across flat water and rapids, through the menacing extracts Weir, the town of Toodyay, the maze of the Avon Valley National Park and Bells Rapids. The sprint ends Sunday afternoon on the Swan River in Bayswater.
Crawling back to you, never thought of calling when you're at you, 'cause I
Hello, I'm Alicia Banner. Welcome to the banks of the Avon River in Northam. It's 6:30 in the morning and just 4 degrees, but for 600 people today, it's all a part of the fun and the experience of a whitewater race known as the Avon Descent. Staring into the thickest race day fog in memory, this year's competitors are ready to go, but behind the scenes, safety officials are worried.
We just have to delay it. It's just one of them things that, you know, we have a lot of safety in place, and it's silly if I disregard that and start competitors in the fog.
Powerboaters are due to fire up at 8 a.m, but with visibility down to a few dozen metres, it's just too dangerous. The wait is on.
It was kind of a really negative feel about the race with 3 weeks to go and no rain, so the last 3 weeks have been really positive, and I think everyone's got quite excited now.
It's a perfect level. It's going to be challenging, but fast. It's going to be, and it's 23 degrees every day. It's going to be a fabulous weekend for us and the spectators. It's going to be a ball.
9:45. 1 hour and 45 minutes later, the longest delayed start in the Avon Descent's history, the fog starts dispersing, just enough to send the brave on their way to the first obstacle, the Northam Weir Wall. There are obstacles at every turn, and even experienced descenters can come a cropper on things that have been there for years.
That's typical of the Avon though. You go left, you go right, and next minute smacks. You don't notice that the adrenaline's pumping, so as a driver you're concentrating on the water, so you don't get another one.
The paddlers aren't far behind.
I don't think you can ever be prepared enough. Everyone's got so many different ideas.
Downstream, the Poweries are going flat out for the finish. It's what you might call peak hour on the Avon. And without marked lanes and lights, a pile-up can be just one wrong turn away. As the leaders pull away, talk turns to the contenders. Three-time Avon champion Hank McGregor is back from South Africa. He'll duel with local powerhouse Simon Roll. And first-timer Spinello Zondi's in top form. Second for 3 years, powerboaters Scott Goodbody and Justin Green want to settle the score. Returning champion Tom Hodgkinson and Dennis Peach are on fire, and record-holding duo Ian and Todd Williamson hope a disastrous time trial won't end their hopes. From Northam, it's a 29-kilometre slog to day one's rockiest obstacle, the notorious Extracts Weir. It's here serious damage can be done to both power and paddlecraft. Shooting the rapids is the quicker way through, but competitors will balance the risk against the slow but safe portage route. Out in front in Craft 001 are powerboaters Tom Hodgkinson and Dennis Peach. Paddlers are planning their assault on the weir. Some go toe-to-toe, but most take a wide berth.
With the water level we've got and that, we just portage extracts. It's too risky.
With Extracts Weir out of the way, the next major challenge is the body-whipping maze of the tea trees. And as the end of day one looms, competitors are asking themselves, is the pain worth it?
After the break in the Avon Descent, river emergency. A tea tree collision spells disaster just minutes from the finish. And from humble beginnings, the days when there were no rules. This is the Avon Descent from Western Australia. After heavy fog delayed the race by nearly 2 hours, powerboaters and paddlers are battling it out. South African Hank McGregor and local champ Simon Roll neck and neck in the single kayak class.
It's called the world's greatest whitewater race, but with these water levels, the Avon's more of a flat white than a cappuccino, and it's no cup of tea as paddlers and power crews race towards the day one finish line. From Extracts Weir to the Cobbler Pool overnight camp is a 28-kilometre adventure through an unforgiving maze of tea trees. Choosing the right line through the tea trees can make or break an Avon champion. A mistake here putting the leading paddler back in the late stages of day one.
Just through the trees we managed to get Hank to go down a wrong channel and we got about 20 seconds, but it's just like racing the Terminator, hey? Like 20 minutes later he was back on our wash and just too strong.
By early afternoon, Hank McGregor's got paddle line honours back in the bag.
Managed to catch them with about 500 metres to go from the finish, and I had enough in the tank to come past.
Favourites Tom Hodgkinson and Dennis Peach are the first power boaters to cross the line. Fatigue sets in as paddlers put in their all to make it to the checkpoints in time. Late in the day, disaster strikes. Just 600 metres from the finish line, double kayaker Matt Campbell suffers suspected spinal injuries in the tea trees. The Avon Descent emergency team's not taking any chances, calling in the RAC rescue chopper to airlift the Queenslander to Royal Perth Hospital.
I've in the back collected a horizontal tree right in the mid-region.
It proves our safety system works and our recovery system works. You know, the evacuation plan works.
The Avon Descent's come a long way in 4 magnificent decades. These days, women make up a big chunk of the brave that battle every twist and turn. But back in 1973, in the first race, there was just one.
Well, it was quite fantastic. We didn't know what to expect, and that was the fun of it, really.
Sally Suber's story's been told in various forms over the years, and it's a rollicking tale worthy of a sequel or two. In that pioneering year, she joined a team of SAS soldiers in a blow-up boat.
They all snored. I didn't get a wink of sleep. It really was funny. I don't think there was anything that wasn't funny.
Back then, when tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree was at #1, the race finished at South Perth's Coode Street Jetty. And the rules, well, there weren't any. With Sally's team running behind time, she bailed out at the end of the second day. Her race mates ended up walking their boat across the city rubbish tip, making it to the finish line on the Monday morning.
And I was here with a bottle of beer, waving it around, and I could see them coming. I couldn't believe it. I was yelling, you know. Oh, it was exciting. The thing is, it was new. It was the first time. And I think the first time you do anything is just, you know, special.
Day 2 at the Cobblerpool start line, and again, the Avon Valley's hidden under thick fog.
Was it an easy rest last night? Not too bad, surprisingly, not too bad. This is the day I like. I don't like day 1, I like day 2.
It can be an addiction. You always ask yourself, why am I doing it each day?
All right. All good? Thanks, Mark.
Low visibility won't affect the paddlers, and at 7 a.m, the first grid is off.
1, away.
West Australian Josh Kippen breaks away early, first through the super chute at the start of the Avon Valley. For hundreds of hardy river racers, the way down there is something of a ghost train experience. There are twists and turns and surprises around every corner, even for those who know the Avon River well.
Coming up, push through or port. The Avon Valley's teeth bite the brave. And pride on the line. It's state against state in a national battle. Day 1 of the 2013 Avon Descent is a distant memory as 600 people begin their battle with the river on the second and final day of this whitewater classic. The paddlers are away early, with power crews due to fire up at midday. There's just 8 kilometres from the Cobblerpool campsite to the thrill-seeker heaven of Emu Falls, all part of the Avon Valley experience.
The valley is a mysterious place where access is restricted and communication notoriously difficult. Practicing this part of the river is a major undertaking with rocky rapids and easily changeable river conditions.
2, 1.
The fog lifts in time for the power boaters to start their Day 2 campaign.
Feeling my way through the darkness.
First through the super chute are Scott Goodbody and Justin Green.
It's a roller coaster ride from start to finish. You can be in the best position to win and just have it all fall apart because of the valley.
With this year's medium river, there are tough decisions, whether to shoot through the rapids or jump out and port.
So wake me up.
Amy Falls is the ugliest rapid on the river by far. In this water, you can't jump it, you can't walk it, you've got to wallow through, hope for the best and keep going.
There was a couple of ripper rapids in there. There's one called Deadly Mistake, and we got some friends in it, and they lost their craft there.
The way through the Avon Valley can be lonely, but 46 kilometres from today's start, competitors are revived by hundreds of spectators at Bells Rapids. It's one of the most popular spots to view the action of the Avon Descent. Bells Rapids come in the final stage of the Avon Valley. Simon Roll is just seconds ahead of Hank McGregor as the Trans-Indian Ocean rivals start their Bells Descent. Their camaraderie, an important part of the battle for glory.
At least I had Simon there, and you know, we can alternate the wave and the pool, and yeah, it just kept the company. It's tough on your own, so it's great to have somebody with you.
This year, there's another race on within the race, the inaugural Interstate Challenge, seeing paddlers from across Australia competing in identical boats.
You have to think constructively and, you know, try and make positives out of everything rather than dwell on how far it is to go.
When the Poweries do battle with Bells, Boat 009 is still out in the front.
Really good run, quite low, rocks everywhere.
Bells Rapids are the last burst of Avon white water. Now it's just a hop to here, the flat of the Swan River. For many paddlers, the end is so close, yet so far, as you'll soon find out.
When the Avon Descent continues, just seconds between contenders with the finish line in sight and mates in combat. But there's no mercy in the chase for glory. The leading racers in both power and paddlecraft are just seconds apart as the Avon Descent moves to the final flat water. WA's premier whitewater event once again dishing up stacks and surprises in the battle for prize money and a place in Avon history.
Welcome to the finish line at Bayswater. We're 124 kilometres downstream from the start at Northam, and as the crow flies, just a few k's from the centre of Perth. There are thousands of people here waiting for their families, partners and mates to get this challenge in the bag. From the raging rapids of Bells to the serene order of Perth's Swan River. The roar of water is now gone, but for paddlers, it's been replaced by the silent sound of screaming mussels. 33 kilometres of hard paddling lies before them, straight into a nasty headwind.
It's just flat and straight, and you come around a corner and you can just see all the way up to the next corner, and it just doesn't seem to come any closer.
South African Hank McGregor and West Australian Simon Roll are out in front, still just seconds apart. And in the distance, there's a herd of 10 horsepower sport engines racing towards the finish line. Over the decades, the Avon Descent finish line has changed numerous times, but for many years now, sweet relief has come on the banks of Bayswater's Riverside Gardens. Powering home first for the fourth year in a row, Hank McGregor, 3 seconds ahead of Simon Roll.
For me, it was just a matter of conserving energy and leaving it right to the finish.
I'm a bit gutted, to be honest. Yeah, a couple of seconds in it, you know, lose the Avon by 130 k's and lose by a couple of seconds.
Tasmania's Stuart Bennett takes home the Interstate Challenge crown, while Spinello Zondi claims a top 5 finish in his first Avon Descent.
It's tough. You need to train as hard as you can to prepare for this race. Without your hard training, you won't survive.
Not far behind the winning paddlers, former Avon champion Tom Hodgkinson and Dennis Peach thunder across the line. It spells devastation for sentimental favourites Scott Goodbody and Justin Green. They've fallen 2 minutes behind on the flat, so it's second for the 4th year in a row.
The biggest challenge of today was about 10 minutes ago when we had to overtake these two guys. These two are some of the best blokes in the world, and they've been second the last 3 years, and they deserved it so much.
Yep, we'll be back next year, yep. Keep trying. Pretty sick of coming second.
With this year's title lost, former champions Jay Branson and Byron Jane and the Williamson father and son team fly in side by side.
From the feedback, we're nearly there, from the competitors, from the spectators, from the volunteers, a very successful event.
Those who tackle the Avon year after year will tell you the descent is more than just a race. It's a rumble with the river, a challenge against yourself, and a place where lifelong mateships are forged.
That was a hoot. I live for this Sunday. We should go and do that again. That was fabulous fun.